Hello everyone, Dylan here. Happy Throwback Thursday, and the rotation leads us to a Star Wars review, and this one's on the Droid Gunship and B-wing starfighter from 2014. So on the front of the manuals, we have the Lego Star Wars logos and the Darth Vader Mustafar border from the time, and also, whereas Vulture Droid's one, which is kind of a strange case where doesn't have the Lego logo and the set number on it, with just neither of those, which when the rest of which did. So kind of strange how that is, but whatever. Then on the back, how to win on the online survey. Then ad for most of the sets from the time. And then minifig list also from the time. Ad for lego.com/Star Wars and the features of it, and the pieces that come with the set, of course, and then the last steps. And then later updated version of it, which later changed for 2014. And then the later sets of it, which the original Ghost set, and also the Mos Eisley Cantina there, 2 upcoming Throwback Thursdays. Well, the Ghost next one, which, so subscribe and look forward to those, and also the other Noah Chronicles set, which I previously reviewed. So that, and then here we go. And then all the minifigs included in the sets of this wave. And then different ad for lego.com/Star Wars, and the pieces that come with the set, of course. Like that, and then the last building steps of it. And that is it. With that, and now onto the figs. First up, for the minifigs, starting with Droid Gunship, is just a regular super battle droid. Straight arm, same since 2007, but otherwise everything else same as it's always been, but otherwise good for army building. And same said with the super battle droid, and well, this which second to last year we've had this original style of that until the updated 2024 design that there is. But yeah, but also still also good for army building. And next up is, well, the first official fig of this set, a Kashyyyk Scout Trooper, or Clone Scout Trooper, which is also the same from the Kashyyyk Troopers battle pack from the time, and also probably also in the ATDP, or AT8P, I should say, also at this time, which with great printings, great helmet piece, great everything, and of course good for army building. And also underneath, the usual angry clone face, and that is it there. And next to which is Chewbacca, which wielding the crossbow like he's always had then. But also, what's kind of strange and crazy is first time with leg printing, and also first time of ever getting new updated version Chewbacca, since the old style of which has been used from like 2000 until 2013 or 12 or 13, somewhere around there. And this which first time we've ever had the updated version, well, in the modern style. That is quite strange how that is, but yeah. But however, the design of which quite well done, really nice for how he is. And also this design did get carried on into most other sets from like both original and sequel trilogy. Yeah, but yeah. And also nice back torso printing for the ammo belt as well. And that is it with Chewbacca and the minifigs included in the Vulture Droid set. Actually, I meant Droid Gunship, that there is. And now onto the ones included with the B-wing set. Starting out with the B-wing pilot, or otherwise Gray Squadron pilot, according to Brickset, which, as you see, the torso print, leg printing done quite well for his end, of course, printing on the hip part as well. And the face printing, kind of similar to what we have with the A-wing pilots and such at this time, and helmet piece of which has the comlink kind of molded in, and also nice printings all around to that. Kind of quite nice for how it is. And then has the back torso printing, also quite good, and also a quite nice double-sided face for how it is. So, and obviously, major update from the earlier B-wing pilot figs. And next to which we have General Aaron Kraken, and obviously also quite good torso print, like printing. Obviously, kind of similar to that we have with most Rebel characters from mostly original trilogy, and also nice face printing with the little comlink that there is, and of course where has the gray hairpiece that there is, which also used on old Han Solo in the sequel trilogy sets, the following 2 years after. And also does have some good back torso printing as well, and also no double-sided face for how that is made. And that is it there. And last but not least is 10 nub, or maybe confused with 9 nub or whatever. But however, the torso print, leg printing, quite similar to most pilot minifigs there are, and of course holding a wrench piece then, and the helmet piece, kind of similar to what we have with A-wing pilots and such. But however, the sculpting, printing, looking quite well for how it is. And also the face printing kind of well captures the in-movie appearance for that, but although for the one that was included in the 2024 Desert Skiff set, did have a specific molded head piece for how, which was a lot better for that. So I guess this which was kind of alright for the time. And then for the back side of it, which has some quite nice back torso printing as well, and also good double-sided face. Well, good to have this double-sided face with the breathing apparatus part when piloting a B-wing or whatever. That is about it there. And now on to the sets. And so now first one of the sets is the Vulture Droid itself, which obviously major quite good bit, kind of good update from the original 2008 version, and also a little bit similar to the 2019 version as well. Well, mainly kind of close to the 2008 version. And little, and of course, little UFO stylish, but yeah. And then let's take some looks at it. Now, first off, for the main head part of which the shaping done quite good for how it is. Like, do have some of the car rim pieces on the sides, and also these other kind of rim pieces and jagged slopes there. Well, since jagged slopes were starting to get a little less common at this time, and obviously, like the Republic gunships, do have a couple of gun turrets that there are on the large ball joints as well. And they do move all around as well. And also do have those large rubbery spike pieces, which were first introduced in the Legends of Chima sets, but obviously good to get them outside of Chima, and also have an extra little blaster down below, of course. And the face of which built pretty well for how it is, and also, and again, kind of similar to the 2008 version, but although the 2019 version did have a couple extra pieces that had the gun turns built a little differently for that, which barely understood that, but however, I think this switch still quite good as is. And then as for this head part of which, where you can open it up and has a little cockpit area, and also do have a reverse tile on here, which shows kind of a aiming kind of bit, showing that it's just about aiming towards its to the go against a counterpart set, the AT-8P Walker, which was also out at this time, and also in both 2008 and 19. Oops. And quite a bit of open space for that. And same thing as the Vulture Droid and the Droid Tri-Fighters of this wave, where you can just fit a Battle Droid into it and act as its own pilot, like they're piloting it. Or like that, of course. And like I once said with the Vulture Droid sets, is that, well, they aren't exactly spaceships. They're actually drones, extra large droids. They're their own thing. They have their own minds. So, obviously, piloting it, making no sense. So, hopefully, if there gets to be another version of any of these, I expect it to not include that feature. But yeah. And then as for these main body part of it, which the whole head is kind of connected on by a ball joint or ball socket joint, but the extra large ones. And also do have a couple of extra force hands in blue, and also these little spiked pieces that are mainly used from Hero Factory sets, but also in dark blue. Nice to get in that color and good for mocking. And also do have quite a lot of these extra large jagged slope kind of pieces, which we oftentimes see on like AATs and some other things. And also in the center part of it does have this extra large hollow panel that there is, but the design around it quite good for how it is. And also have these rounded tiles with stickers on them, and also that other card piece with curved slopes on there, kind of nice for how that is. And so the shaping done pretty well for how it is. And then also on both sides of this ship do have these little assemblies that are with the extra large panels and the curved slopes on there, and also this bar piece down below. And also, since this year 2014, first year introduced to sprung-on launchers, and also do have that right there. Take one of these and then stick it right into there. And obviously, since you all might know about it at this point, is click on it and launches off far and powerfully. And obviously, since this year 2014, it's still well workable for how it is. But yeah. And now onto the very back side of it, which have these large stickers that are supposed to be the thrusting of it, and also what those Technic bits are for. Well, it's for another feature that there's. If you notice these like little bits down here that are supposed to be bombs then. Like, let me get this in the air. In which if you pull on them and drops them down like so. So this feature, good homage to the Hyena Droid Bomber of 2009 that there is. And how to reload it, and also knows how it goes like. Where it's all Technic rods and a few beams and other rods there. In which we can take all of these on and also load them back up like so. And also, then you can just push forward and start all over again. So obviously, great feature for this set. And that is about it with the Vulture Droid here. And now onto the other set in this review, the B-wing. And now for the B-wing here, which obviously from first glance quite different than most previous B-wings. Yeah, previous B-wings. Well, obviously fitting to the newer range of sets. And also a little bit similar to the 2006 version, but also with some different bits to it. And of course, both of which different than the 2000 version. And also this was first and only time we ever had B-wing, but just by itself. But unlike with the other two versions, where with the 2000 version there was the control center base set, and also the 2006 version that had a little standing kind of bit station to it. But this one, not at all. So obviously if you were to stand it, it would just have to be resting like this. But yeah. And now, on to the first bit. And now, as for this front cockpit area, which obviously, which once again, is a little bit like the 2006 version of it, but obviously same canopy part, and also have these curved slopes around, and also the little gas pump kind of pieces, but acting as the front blasters of it, just like with the Jango Fett minifigs from this time. And this back part, which has a lot of curved slopes around it, and also a few more curved slopes back there as well. And obviously, like the other ones, it's on a single Technic rod that goes around quite well. And you can like open this canopy part up open, and have a little control panel piece in there, and also a couple of brown tiles and a curved jagged slope, and enough space to set your pilot minifig into, of course. And obviously, the most important thing of which is make sure it closes over it, and does quite well for how it is. And that is it with the cockpit area. And on to the center part of it, which the shaping done really quite well for how it is. Like, you have these other wedge plates, both upwards and downwards, and also these like fin kind of pieces, but just acting as like ridging to the main engine part to it, and also, and of course, done with other jagged slopes and tile pieces back there, and then also some other curved slopes around, and these cylinder pieces acting as just an extra greeble, and the back part of it, which has another jagged slope with a little sticker on it to be sort of the greebling detailings of it. Not sure why that is, but whatever. Same thing as on the top, but also on the bottom, and also have these 4 large cones, and also trans orange pieces on there to be sort of the back engine thrust to it. So obviously good callback to the other 2 variants of the B-wing, and that's about it there. And now onto the wing parts. And as for the wing parts, which are made of just regular large wedge plates, and those other plates with a orange circle sticker on it, and some more of that, and are connected onto a ratchet hinge bricks to it, and click open and close like so. But like the center wing of which, unlike the 2000 version, obviously a lot less frail than that one, and just a couple more plates to it. And then ending off, and then the end part of it is just a few curved slope pieces there, and a couple Technic bits to be like the ending blasters of it, and also have the classic space blasters on the wing parts as well. And also alongside it are these Bruno launchers, which also work out just fine for that, and shoot well, obviously. And now on to the main feature of it. And now on how it goes like is, you can like spread this wing out and spread this wing out, and there, it's in its flight mode. And also twirls around quite well for how it is. And obviously, and if you know the 2006 version, which does have a little extra build as a stand for it, but however this version, same with the 2000 version, you don't get any at all. And also quite long and tall for how it is. Well, long and tall at the same time. And they do close up quite well for how it is. And got it in its landing position again. And that is about it with the B-wing that there is. And now on to my overall verdicts. I think these of which are quite good sets, or pretty good sets, or cool sets for how they are. Like, playing good playability, and also good minifig selections. Well, for the Droid Gunship, I say which all the minifigs, well, 3 of which good for army building, and obviously great to have updated version Chewbacca, even though he didn't stay exclusive for long since came in a lot of sets after. And also for the build of how it is, quite good for the $40-50 that it was, and the B-wing also kind of quite good for the price point. And although it would have been nice if maybe an extra fig could have been included in it, like Wiki the Ewok or any Ewok or whatever, since fitting to the Battle of Endor, but that's just me. But as for the price points that they were, of like $40-50 at each time, I say pretty good for how they were. And although it was a little small, and whereas the Droid Gunship a little small for that, but at least it was quite workable for how it is. And despite inflation nowadays, still quite good for how it is. But however, the B-wing, I say, was almost as good as the 2006 version, but obviously a little bit better with the spring-loaded launchers and things. But also not at all any stand included with it. And also, and sadly, since this being the last version of the B-wing we ever had, and hopefully they eventually will get another, or sooner or later, or maybe even could have the Resistance version from Episode 9, which would have been nice to see. But that's just me. Or maybe have the red prototype version from Star Wars Rebels. Well, maybe that would have been a little much, but yeah. But however, if there gets to be another version of the B-wing, I think it should be about as good as this, but with a couple extra figs as well. And whereas for the Droid Gunship, nice to have a bunch of army building characters as well, but yeah. And also the bomb dropping feature is also quite fun for how it is, but yeah. And what else to say? Not much, but yeah. And hopefully for a new version of the Droid Gunship, they get rid of the cockpit part to it, just like the Vulture Droid and so on, but yeah. And so now, if any of you still have these sets from back in the day, well, I hope you had some good memories of them. And for those of you who haven't and are still looking to get these sets, I say definitely pick them up. eBay, Bricklink, Mercari, Bricks and Minifigs, whatever. And that's it with this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.